eat. My wife's eating healthy. She's doing everything. We're from California, so everything in California is lettuce wraps. That's the healthy way. Apparently a lettuce wrap is healthy. I've yet to find a piece of lettuce that fits around a pizza. So not working out for me personally. And then my sister-in-law is like well, I don't want to say anything. She's my sister-in-law. She's very healthy. I'm not making this up. This is actual footage. Actual footage is my phrase for this is true. She mailed us gluten-free bread. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of tasting gluten-free bread. If you haven't, when you leave here tonight, find a brick and lick it. And that will give you the same taste sensation as billion-grain gluten-free bread. And I'm not even kidding. She mailed it to us. That tells you something about the bread right there. What bread would you go, just mail it? I'm like, that's not bread. That's display bread. That's what that is. That's next to the good towels. Don't eat the bread, because it's just for looks. Had lunch with a friend a couple weeks ago at the Grove in Los Angeles. Comedian Bone, he actually did the show here. You guys might know him, but Bone and I, we've been friends for years, so we met at the Grove there, which is like a really upscale farmer's market. Great, all kinds of shops and places to eat. So we were just sitting down, and I look up and I go, I went to college with that guy. So I run over to this guy that I recognized from college, and I'm like, Brian! And he's like, no. And then I did this thing that instead of telling him more about myself, thinking it would ring a bell since it's been years since we've seen each other, I gave him more information about himself. Brian from Long Island, right? And he's like, no. And now I'm feeling like, what has gone on in your life that you won't admit who you are? What's happened to you, man? I'm a safe place. You can tell me. You can tell me. And then I did the same thing the third time. Brian from Long Island who went to TCU. And he's like, sorry, man. And at this point, I'm just sinking inside. I'm feeling angry and rejected. Like, what did I ever do to you that you're still bitter after all these years? I can't even. And he just walks away. And I'm walking back to the table, and Bone's laughing. And he goes, do you know who that was? It's Brian from Long Island who went to TCU. I know who it was. He won't admit who he was. Oh, Bone goes, that was Kevin Dillon. Yeah, Kevin Dillon, the actor of... The brother of the actor Matt Dillon, who is also an actor who was in the series Entourage. Yeah, he's just famous enough to where you think you went to college with him.